Thank you to the ladies of the DAR for donating books to Port Orange Elementary for Constitution Week.
Years, but our organization is over 100 years old. Uh, as she said, we do yearly we celebrate Constitution Week. The Daughters of the American Revolution actually started Constitution Week and made it an official day, well, Constitution Day and Constitution Week, back under President Eisenhower. So we celebrate that, and one of the things that we do to commemorate Constitution Week is we go to a school, a Port Orange school, either an elementary or middle, and give a book donation. So there it is. I'm going to talk to you, you know a little bit about the DAR, you know a little bit about the chapter here. I'm going to let Ms. Lasky talk to you a little bit about Constitution Week.
You want me to do that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning.
I have been in the DAR for about 6 or 7 years now, and one of my responsibilities is to be head of a committee for the Constitution Week. And a couple of things that we do at that time is the Port Orange Library, the main library, has a display case that we put all kinds of different things in for Constitution. So if you get over there, and try to make a trip over there just to see it. It's only in the month of September. We have to put it up in September 1st and take it down in September 30th. And so I think you'll enjoy that. The second thing that we do is on Constitution Day, anywhere between September 17th and the 23rd, we designate it as Constitution Day. That's a week, and then we did Constitution Day, we designated on the 16th because the 17th was a Saturday. And we had a ceremony there with people representing our mayor, our city manager, the Florida congresswoman, the Florida State senator, and the U.S. senator, and the U.S. congressman. So that we had representatives all there, and they give us a proclamation proclaiming this week for Port Orange, Florida. So those are not displayed there, but I just want to explain to you what we do on that. Constitution is so important to understand how and why we got our freedoms. Okay, the Constitution, along with the Bill of Rights, which I'm going to hand out to Ms. Holmby to hand out to you after we leave. Okay, give you a little book on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, give you so that you can learn on your own. It's so freedom is wonderful, but you have to follow the Constitution in order to receive those freedoms. And we, as a whole country, we need all of our legislators and everybody that's ruling our country and making laws need to follow that Constitution, because we the people are the ones who put those people in office by voting, which you're going to be talking about very soon. So when you get old enough to vote, you need to study who you're voting for. Look them up. Find out what they stand for. If they agree with how you agree, then that's the person that you vote for. And you know, don't let anybody talk to you into doing it, or anything else, watching media or any people coming up to you. You make up your own mind. That's part of the freedom that we have. And so I'm hoping that as you grow older, and maybe some of you will be congressmen and senators, and who knows, maybe even president. It's up to you. Do you know that? You have the freedom to go to school, to go to college, to get into government. You know, you could be in the national U.S. government, you could be in the state government, the county, the city, all that making a difference for not just you, but for everybody around you. So I'm hoping that you will take whatever you're studying in the next few weeks about this really serious, because you, being a U.S. citizen, have so much freedom. When you look across the whole world, they do everything they can to come into our country because they don't have that freedom. So I'm hoping that you will just really take it serious when your teachers are teaching any portion. I don't know how much time they spend on it, but maybe by having this little book, you can spend some time yourself. Go on the internet, you find out about who your senators are, who your congressmen are, who all of your, if you go on to, I think it's the election board website, it tells you all the way down from the president down for Volusia County, all the way down to your mayor. So that's important to, and I know you love the computer, so if you're going to do it, make it worth your while. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lasky. Alright, what she was talking about,
Okay.
no, because I've been messing with
Yep,
them, not
yep,
listening to
alright.
those. Alright, the Constitution, that's what we're celebrating now. Okay, we fought the Revolutionary War, and like we told you, we have ancestors that
Mhm.
fought in that war or contributed, and, I'm standing on that. Okay, we fought this war, we have our independence from Great Britain, we gotta have some rules. Do you have classroom rules up on the wall? Okay, yeah, you had to have rules to follow, you can't just say, everybody have fun. But you have to have rules, okay, how we're gonna pay for the schools, you know, how we're gonna pay for the roads, how we're gonna be safe. So they wrote the Constitution, and when she talked about the Bill of Rights, those were the first 10 amendments, changes where you have to go back and say, oh gee, we need to fix that. Those were the first 10 that were done. This will have a lot of the information, it tells you about it, each one of you will get one of these when we finish talking. Real quickly, we're gonna go down through the four of us, we'll tell you who our ancestors were, and then quickly, I promise. Well, anyway, the man that he wasn't a man, he was a boy. Some of you probably have older brothers or sisters that are teenagers. Well, some of you do, some of you don't, but anyway, or maybe a cousin. He was 15 years old, and he lived in North Carolina. He was from Virginia, but they just moved to North Carolina, and he had 2 older brothers, and they're again talking about siblings. He followed them off to war and fought along beside them. 15 years old. Okay. And his name was Nicholas Horn. Tell me about your ancestor.
My ancestor come from New Hampshire, because, you know, they come all the way from on the eastern coast of the different states there. They come from all over, so he was from New Hampshire. And he too was a very young man. He was like 17 when he went in. And he went in the later part of the war, so he was in Bunker Hill. And he was wounded, okay? He didn't die, but he was wounded. And he had a very large family after he came back, okay? And he made a difference in his community because he got involved in the government of that community, because he didn't want to have to fight another war, and he did everything he could so that there wouldn't be another war. But unfortunately, other people had other ideas. And his name is Donald Fry. And we just, there wasn't a whole lot, but I had to do a lot of digging on that one, because he was sort of a quiet man. And that's the only thing I could find out about him, but thank you.
All right, we're gonna talk about the CAR now. Catherine is gifted out at Cypress Creek Elementary, and she's here to help us. She's the president's local CAR chapter. Melissa Pena is her mother, and she works with them. And Melissa, you two come tell us about the CAR.
So,
Children of the American
I
Revolution.
was gonna ask if they figured that out.
Well, I didn't think they'd think it was cows of the American Revolution.
Alright, so I have proven my lineage to somebody who served in the American Revolution, which means obviously she has somebody since she's my daughter. And since you have to be, 16 to be a member of both?
Yes.
DAR and CAR, so under 16, you're a member of the Children of the American Revolution. And what we do is we learn more about history, more about the American Revolution, and we try and actually really keep it fun. So we try and take trips to different forts, like the one up in St. Augustine. We are going to do, what is that called in December?
Night Watch.
The Night Watch. So they actually have a special December 4th, I think it is, right? December 4th?
First.
They have a Night Watch up in St. Augustine, so we're going to participate in that. And let's see, what else, Ms. Catherine? Really, it's supposed to be kids. Kids are supposed to pick what they want to do, what interests you guys, and then we tailor what we want to do, but we make it really interactive so we can go and do things and have fun, go to the park. We do community service, clean up around the park, because who wants to play in a park that has a whole bunch of trash? Not me. So that's one of the things we do. We like to go clean up a little bit. We've gone to the beach, right? We took our dog to the beach because we had a dog clean up too. So we cleaned up some of the trash on the beach. We do conferences sometimes where we get to dress up nice if we want to go. Let's see what else.
You mean you have to dress up nice?
If you go, you have to dress up nice, yes. Do you like anything about CAR?